Namaste, beautiful yogis. Welcome to another coffee cup vinyasa yoga class, intermediate level, appropriate for beginners with certain modifications, and even advanced practitioners can benefit from this class on their lighter days. And let's begin at the front of our mats. I'm practicing in beautiful Santa Cruz. Feet are parallel to each other, slightly extending the tailbone down. And let's inhale the hands over the head. Let your feet sink into your mat and you can arch your back. Exhale, flat back, forward bend. Hands on the floor, inhale, look ahead of you. And let's step into plank. Spread the fingers open and distribute the weight equally onto your hands. Slowly lower down Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Tuck the tailbone under and lift your kneecaps, engaging the quadriceps. Let's look over the right shoulder and over to the left. Keep the chin parallel to the floor. Back to Chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting the tailbone as high as you can. Really lifting the hips high here. And at the same time allowing your heels to drop down onto your mat or towards the mat. And come back into plank. Strong core, steady breath. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back to Chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shoulders away from the ears. Feel how your downward facing dog feels in your body. You can walk in place here. You can find areas of stagnation where your energy is stagnant, where your energy stops moving, and breathe into those places. And let's come back into plank. Keeping the chest wide and open, shoulders down. And let's take side plank, left hand on the floor, reaching with your right hand up. And let's reach up and over the head. And switch sides. Side plank on the right side. Really lifting the hips here. And reach up and over your head. Lengthen. Hands on the floor plank. Steady Chaturanga. Open. Upward facing dog. Back to Chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. Really connect with your breath. Inhale the right leg up. Square your hips. Pressing the heel away from you. And step the right foot between your hands. Come up, high lunge. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Extend the tailbone down. Exhale, hands on the floor. One-legged plank, one-legged Chaturanga. Upward facing dog, lengthening the back of your neck, widening the back. Back to Chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up, pressing the heel away from you. All 5 toes equally, pressing down towards the floor, extending down. And let's step the left foot between the hands, come up, high lunge. Press the back heel away from you. Belly in. Soften the rib cage. Exhale, hands on the floor, one-legged plank, one-legged Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And back to Chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really connecting with your breath. Plank. Side plank, right hand on the floor. And let's bring the left hand behind the head and bring the knee to the elbow 10 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stacking the hips on top of each other, and here we're just gonna reach in front of us and touch our toes 10 times. Keep the hips lifted, shoulders down, keep your breath steady, as if this takes no effort for you to perform. And when you're done, we're gonna take plank pose. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. And back to Chaturanga, exhale, plank, and side plank on the left side. Right hand behind the head, and let's bring the right knee to the right elbow 10 times. Keep your hips lifted and try to move from a place of strength and stability. Be steady when you move. Try not to wiggle in your moves, to be shaky, rush. Try to be very steady. Once you're done, moving ahead with the toe touches in front of us. Again, steady moves. The hips are lifted and the belly is in. We're using a lot of muscles to maintain our stability here. Once you're done, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga, exhale, downward facing dog. And now we're gonna go into a reverse plank. Hands on the floor, fingers pointing back at your feet 10 times, lifting the legs. 3, 4, keep your booty lifted. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a quick break, forward bend, and prepare for 10 more. Exhale, the hands behind you, fingers pointing back at you. 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And lower down onto the floor. Let's come all the way down on our backs, bridge pose. Feet are parallel to each other, hip width apart, working the chest towards the chin. And let's begin to take the left leg up 10 times. Keeping again your hips lifted here and your right leg working. Steady. and over to the opposite side. Then leg lifts in bridge pose, one-legged leg lifts, one-legged bridge. We're working on the back side of the body, on the posterior chain. Once you're done with your 10 reps, release. Feet, soles of the feet together. Open your knees out. And let's prepare to come out of this. Grab the back side of your knees, rocking up. And let's come into a reverse plank one more time. And flip over in plank. Keep your chest open, gazing a few inches in front of your fingers, and we're gonna bring the knees across to the opposite elbow 20 times. Keep your hips lifted and your movement steady as you do this. Keep pressing the heel of the foot on the floor away from you. Lower down onto your belly, cobra, really lengthening and bringing the back bend into the mid and upper back. And lower down onto your belly, bend your knees, grab your ankles behind you and lift into bow pose, rocking back and forth or holding it. And let's release the hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up into plank and press back into downward facing dog. Steady moves. Inhale the right leg up. Step the right foot between your hands, come up. High lunge. And let's take a big step forward, bringing the left knee into the rib cage. Relax the shoulders, looking ahead of you. Hands on the hips, we're gonna touch the floor and diagonally lift the leg 5 times. 2. Try not to swing. 3, 4, and 5. Transition into warrior 3. Level the hips. Reaching through your toes. Hands out and reach in front of you, bending the right knee. Hands on the floor. Standing half splits. And you can take a step back. Square your hips for intense side stretch. Keep both heels on the floor. Left hand on the floor, right hand up. Revolving triangle pose. And let's reach forward. Hands on the floor, step back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg comes up, big breath in. Step the left foot between your hands, come up, high lunge. Relax your shoulders. Come onto your left leg, standing on the left leg, right knee into the rib cage. Hands on the hips, 5 leg lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Transition into warrior 3, level the hips. Open the arms out and in front of you, bending the left knee. Hands on the floor, standing half splits. Lifting the leg as high as you can. Bringing the chest closer to your left leg. And let's step the right foot behind us. Intense side stretch. Keeping the right hand on the floor on your shin bone. Left arm reaches all the way up, revolving triangle pose. Keep both heels on the floor and lengthen both sides of your torso. And let's step back into plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg comes up. Step the right foot between your hands. Come up, warrior one. And let's bring the hands over the heart, open into warrior two. Take a little wider stance, relax your shoulders. Turn the palm of your right hand up and walk the left hand down the left leg. And let's bring both hands behind us, clasping, freeing the shoulders here. And lower your torso over your right leg in side angle here, still holding the hands behind you, clasping. Now you can release the right hand on the floor, left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And let's reach towards the front of the room. Bring both hands on the floor. Lowering the left knee on the floor, straighten the right leg, flex the foot. Stretching the hamstrings here. And slowly back into plank. Chaturanga, upward dog. Chaturanga, downward facing dog. Left leg, inhale. Lift the left leg up. Step the left foot between your hands. Come up, warrior one, hips facing forward. Hands over the heart, open into warrior two. Sink a little deeper here. Turn the palm of your left hand up and reach up and over your head. And let's clasp the hands behind us, opening the shoulders. Externally rotating the right hip. Lower your torso over the left thigh, pressing the hands away from you. Great. And release the left hand on the outside of the left foot. Right arm reaches all the way up and over the head, finding a lot of length. And let's bring both hands on the floor, square your hips and lower the right knee on the floor. Straighten the left leg, flex the left foot and lower your chest over your thigh. Great. Stepping back into plank. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga and exhale, downward facing dog. Drawing the navel in and up towards the spine. Spread the fingers open. Keep the back wide. Inhale the right leg up. Step the right foot between your hands. Drop the back heel down, warrior one. Come up. Press into the outer edge of your left foot. Hands over the third eye, open. Warrior 2. Straightening the right leg. Clasp the hands behind you, open the chest, and lower down. Triangle with a clasp. And you can release the right hand down on your shin bone or on the floor. Left arm reaches all the way up. Tuck the tailbone under. Extend the top arm up and over your head. And let's bring both hands on the floor. Step back, one-legged chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Step the left foot between your hands. Drop the back heel down. Come up. Warrior 1. Square the hips forward. Hands over the third eye. Open into Warrior 2. Straightening the leading knee. Clasp the hands behind you. Switching the clasp here. Dominant finger under. Triangle. Lowering down the torso over the extended leg. And release one hand on the floor. Tuck the tailbone under. Lengthen the spine. Lengthen the obliques. Reach up and over your head with your right arm. Release both hands on the floor. One-legged chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Back to chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take nice free inhalations, complete exhalations. Feel freedom in your breath. Feel elongation, decompression in your spine. And let's bring the knees on the floor. Grab your heels. Bring your forehead into your knees and roll past the top of your head here, rabbit pose. Rounding the back, stretching your spine. And let's come out of this, clasping the hands. Elbow plank. We're gonna do leg lifts here. Pressing the heels straight up. Using the glutes and the hamstrings. Keep the belly in. Count till 20. 10 on each side. And you can rest in child's pose when you're done. Palms of the hands facing each other. Shoulders relaxing. And let's come out of this, coming onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips, hip width apart. And we're gonna take the left leg back and the right hand forward. The hand and the fingertips are extending away from your heel, finding a lot of length, keeping the hips level. And you can bend your knee and grab your ankle behind you. Press the foot away from you so that you can open that right shoulder. Stretching the shoulder and release. And bring your knee into your shoulder. Really contracting the obliques here. You should feel this in your core. Release. Let's take the right leg back. Left arm forward. Bend at the knee and grab your ankle. Really press your foot away from you so that you can open the left shoulder. And release, knee into the shoulder. Squeeze it as close to your shoulder as you can. and release. And let's come into a seated. Here you're gonna keep your back straight, pull your knees into your rib cage, and let's keep the knees at 90 degrees. Lower down onto your back, press the lower back into the floor and come up, squeeze the knees into your chest 10 times. When your back is on the floor, press the lower back into your mat. When you come up, keep the lower back curve. At all times, keep pressing the belly down. Try not to let it pop out. Great. And here we're gonna round the back and come onto our backs. Lay back. Walk your feet in towards you. And either go for bridge pose here, or you can go ahead and go into a full wheel. Keep your feet parallel to each other, hip width apart. And you can take the left leg up for one-legged wheel, and then the right leg up. Keep pressing the hips as high as you can. And lower down. Slowly come down onto your back. Feet together. Reclining butterfly pose. And let's bring the right foot into the left inner elbow or forearm or into the left hand, pressing the right knee away from us, right foot towards us for a nice reclining hip opener. Breathe into your hip. And let's grab the big toe with the left hand and bring the leg across for a supine twist. And to finish the hip opening, we're gonna bend the knee and bring it down by the rib cage and change sides. Left foot, right inner elbow. Press the opposite leg down into the floor. Breathe. And let's grab the foot with the right hand and bring it across. Look over your left shoulder. And let's bend the knee and bring the left knee by the rib cage. Release and come up. Navasana. Holding, keeping the belly in, squeezing the inner thighs towards the midline. Hands together, bring them on the outside of the right leg. And let's bring them on the outside of the left leg. Right leg comes up, hands over to the right. Left leg comes up, hands over to the left. Lower down the left leg next to the right. And now let's bring the right leg over the chest. Left leg over the chest. Steady moves. Reaching forward with the hands. Release, bring the soles of the feet together. And bring the feet down on the floor. And here, keeping the feet, the soles of the feet together, lift your hips for an inner thigh stretch. And slowly lower down. Make yourself comfortable for the final relaxation allowing the shoulders to drop, the jaw to relax, softening the eyelids, softening the lips, softening the tongue, softening the belly, softening the breath, finding places where you may be holding tension and exhaling through there. Stay in this place of no resistance for the next few moments, allowing your breath to be free and your mind to be empty. Thanks for joining me today. Namaste.